Hey guys, Sleepy here, and welcome to a brand new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. We made it to another Friday, so it's time for us to chat and discuss about the games I played this week. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so if you played any of the games I shared today, let me know what you thought of them. I always enjoy hearing about the games you guys are playing as well, because that gives me ideas of games that I might want to play myself. And if you guys have a recommendation, a game you think I might enjoy playing, let me know. Always looking for new games to play and experience. This past week, I've actually been on vacation. My work needed me to take off another weeks because of our payroll budget, so I took that time to sit back and relax, spend time with family, and I also got to do a bunch of gaming. And so I've got a new game to share with you guys this week. It's for the Xbox 360, and it is backwards compatible on Xbox One and Series X consoles. So I've been playing it on my Series X, and this is one I've wanted to return to for quite some time. And that is Risen 2 Dark Waters. Now, this is the special edition that I have for the Xbox 360. There was another version that came with only one of the DLCs. This version came with two DLCs. It comes with Treasure Island and Air Temple DLC mission packs, as well as a double-sided official poster that has a map of the islands, and then it also has a poster of the game, which is really cool. So, definitely a game that I've enjoyed. Now, it is a janky game. This is made by Piranha Bytes. Now, that studio sadly is no longer with us anymore, but if you guys have played any of Piranha Bytes games, like Elix or Elix 2 or the other two Risen games, you actually know what you're getting into with these kind of games. You know, it was a small development studio, so their games were always a little janky, or as people would call them, the Euro jank. But I really have enjoyed their game because they're really fun. Now, what's awesome about this is this has a pirate theme. So this is a third-person action RPG with a pirate setting. Now, there's not a whole lot of pirate games out there, so it's really cool having a pirate game. Now, you play the exact same character that you did in the first Risen, the unnamed hero. And this is actually a continuation of the story of Risen 1. However, if you've never played the first Risen game, you didn't beat the story, you know, you're not really be impacted as far as ruining the story for Risen 2, because it's kind of its own thing, but there are some throwbacks to what happened in the first game, and there was a bunch of choices and stuff in that. A lot of good RPG elements in this as well, and just overall a really fun game, and it's really cheap too. You can get a copy for like $10 or something, and it's backwards compatible. There's still a digital version of this that you can get, and the DLC can still be bought. Even though the marketplace on the 360 is shut down, you can still go onto Xbox's website or buy it from the Series X or Xbox One's marketplace, and you can still buy the DLC, and then you can actually get access to it on the 360 if you don't have an Xbox One or Series X, so it's still available on there. I'll read you guys from the back. Embark on an epic journey. Fight to save the islands of Arborea from the dark grasp of the Titans. A pirate-themed open world is waiting for you to explore and plunder. Carve your own path. Plunge into hundreds of quests with multiple paths to completion. There's a ton of quests to take on. Main quests, side quests. Cutlass or cannon. Choose to become a sharpshooting marksman, a master of voodoo, and more. So let's check out some gameplay of Risen 2 Dark Waters. Alright guys, we're checking out Risen 2 Dark Waters. Now this is a sequel to the original Risen. There is a third one, Risen 3 Titan Lords, but I've only ever played Risen 1 and 2. I never beat this one, so I decided that I wanted to start it all over again because I completely forgot the story. And what's great is it's backwards compatible on Xbox One and Series X. So I've been playing it here on my Series X, and you get a nice boost to the performance and visuals. Because it's still on the marketplace, you can actually still get the DLC. You get the Treasure Island and Air Temple DLC pack, and you can still buy. Now, my copy actually came with a code to download them, so I have them both for free, but you can still buy them. I think they're like $5 each, but definitely worth adding to your collection if you really like these kind of games, which I am. I'm a huge fan of this one. And this was created by Piranha Bytes, so if you guys have played any of the other games like Risen 1 or Elix or Elix 2, you know that their games are very janky, but they're really fun. They did a really good job with a small studio, with a small team of people. Their games are kind of janky at times, but they are really fun. And the graphics look really good for an old Xbox 360 game. They did a fantastic job with the water, and it does look good on my Series X. Even the vegetation, the trees, the plants look good. Now, obviously not as good as a modern game, but I think they did a pretty good job with that. Show you guys some of the menu stuff here. So we're in here about my character. Oop. So you have your attributes, you have blades, you got firearms, you got toughness, you got cunning, and voodoo. And you level these up by glory. So that's your skill points. It's called glory in this game. And you actually use those to buy upgrades for your character. And that's by killing enemies. That's by completing quests and stuff. Then you have talents. So the like different weapons you use here. Muskets, there's shotguns, there's pistols. Different defensive things, dirty tricks you can do in fighting, your thievery so you can steal things and sneak around, your silver tongue allows you to talk your way out of stuff and manipulate people, and then there's voodoo magic that you can use as well. Keep track of your gold, which gold is used to buy everything in the game. There's also skills for you to learn. Now what's interesting about these skills is you have to learn these skills from different trainers in the game. And so when they have a yellow thing there, it means I've learned it. You have to use gold to buy them in order to unlock the skills. So you don't have all these skills unlocked. Even with combat, like, I don't have parry unlocked, so my guy doesn't have the best when it comes to combat right now. Another really cool thing is you eventually get your own ship, because this is a pirate theme. So there's not a whole lot of games out there where you get to play as a pirate. So you get eventually get your own ship, and then you can get crew members for that ship that have different tasks, which is pretty sweet. And then there's also different kind of treasures for you to find. And by buying these or finding these, you get permanent augments to your character. You have your inventory, so your typical stuff, keeping track of different weapons that you can equip. So you have your stuff on your head, your left hand is other secondary weaponry like guns are, because these are like musket type weapons, so single fire weapons, so they take a long time to reload. So you're not going to run through this game shooting everything. It's all about melee combat with the addition of weapons as a secondary. Feet, different things for you to equip, which will augment your character. Different loot for you to get to. Now what's also neat is there's different tools you can find, like pickaxes and shovels and a skinning knife. And you actually use these on different areas. Like you can use the pickaxe, obviously, to mine nuggets. You can use a shovel to dig for treasure. And then skinning knife, you can actually skin animals that you kill to get their pelts. And then you can use those for crafting or selling. This is a map of the world. Every area you go to has a map. You have to either find it, you have to steal it, or you have to buy it. Because when you come first to the area, you don't have a map. And then there's an overall map that you can go to. And the different maps, you can look into the different areas. I'm only in the third area of the game so far. And then you can also fast travel to different areas when you unlock them, which is really sweet. And then the logbook keeps track of all the quests that you have available. Here are the ones I'm working on. Anything in the all quests that's gray are the ones I've completed. Also with the camera, you can zoom in really far if you want, or you can zoom all the way out. I usually like to keep it out like this. Now with the quests, there are like main quests for you to go through, but there's also side quests you can do. Now, if you progress the story too far to a certain point, you can actually make side quests become abandoned, and you can't do them until the next playthrough. So I recommend checking out an online guide so that you don't miss quests, but there comes a point where you have to choose a side. There's factions, just like in the original Risen, and once you align yourself on that one side, you get locked out of doing the quest for the other side. So that makes it where you have to actually play the game twice to fully do all the quests in the game. Show you guys a little dialogue talking to NPCs, and then we'll finish off with some combat.
You are bringing Tahana back to our village. Why?
You mean, why am I helping you?
No. Why can you do what we Tonkas cannot?
And then there's dialogue options, and it may affect the way they view you by the way you talk to them, which is pretty cool.
But I still need your help.
No. I do not trust you, Gucho.
I kind of figured that.
I will find out why you are really here.
Ulele!
And then here's where I can buy stuff from her, but I can also sell to her. And if there's anything you sold to her, there's a buyback option. So there's all the different kind of merchants in the world, and there's also people that you can use gold, and they can actually train you to unlock skills. There's a variety of trainers throughout the world. Alright, so let's go get into some combat. Now, an interesting thing is that if you have your weapon equipped, you can actually not pick up items that are on the ground, as they will stick out of different plants, things you can get for crafting. So be aware that if you have your sword out, I can't pick it up. If you see the name of an item, that means you can pick it up. We're going to fight a couple claw monkeys here. So the combat is kind of janky. It's always been that way with Piranha Bytes games, so just be aware of that. But you also want to make sure you loot your enemies after you kill them, because they sometimes have useful items on them. And if you have that skinning knife, some of the animals you kill, you can actually skin them. Here's a jaguar up here, which is a little bit tougher enemy. Some of them can pounce on you like the jaguars can, and then they can be really damn quick. I'm gonna try to use my gun on him. Missed it. He was moving too much. And I got a jaguar skin. You heal by using provisions, but you can see that it's kind of slow. It doesn't instantly heal you, so you have to actually wait for your health bar to go up. So sometimes you might have to run around as you're fighting enemies so that you don't die so quickly. We'll use another one there. Alright, now we're going to fast travel to where some human enemies are, and you can see how different it is fighting the humans. I'm gonna run real quick so I don't get overwhelmed by enemies, because you want to try to isolate them the best you can, because fighting 2, 3, 4 at a time can easily kill you. Now what's cool is you do get companions that will accompany you at times, and you can use them to help you fight, because when they get knocked down, they don't die permanently. They're just knocked out for a little while and they will revive themselves, so you can use them to help kill enemies. This one's a cave bat. There's some really odd enemies in the game. And I just unlocked 100 glory. So every enemy you kill, you do unlock glory, which is used for leveling up. Alright, let's get them in here. Come on. And they can block and deflect your attacks and do counter moves and stuff against you. Got it. And all their guns do take bullets. And sometimes it's just better it's just better to run sometimes from combat, because I'm going to get myself killed because they do so much damage. So I'm going to definitely want to come back to this area when I have more help and I have a couple companions with me to take on that area. And I'm playing on the easiest difficulty. I highly recommend playing these games on the easy difficulty setting. Anything higher and you'll become frustrated with how janky the combat is. You end up dying super quickly and it'll really take away from your enjoyment of the game. So I would just recommend playing it on easy, unless you're a super expert at these different Piranha Bytes games. Heal up. I'm gonna fight this little bastard. Come on. These termites. And sometimes you can get stun locked where they just keep hitting you and you can't get away. And I've died several times like that. And it just comes to the janky combat. But sometimes you can stun lock the enemies like they do you, and you can just sit there and just whack them a bunch until they die, but you gotta be careful because they can counter you at times. And just one more up here will kill. guess to show you guys lock picking real quick once you unlock that. So you have to just get the tumblers to stay up, and sometimes you have to do them in a different order. Some locks are going to be obviously easier than others. The higher the number, the harder it's going to be. But it's worth looting all the different things you can, as there's all kinds of secrets for you to find. You also eventually learn the ability to sneak. I guess I can show you guys that too real quick. Now, if you go into an areas you're not supposed to, enemies will come after you.
Go now.
And what's cool is if you just go out, they eventually reset themselves and act like nothing ever happened. So if you want to go in there like I've already done this, you want to sneak in there so he can't hear you. And this is where you can sneak into people's homes to steal stuff. And like how I went through this and emptied this chest out and stole the stuff they had in there. So you definitely want to unlock the sneak and thievery skills because it's very handy in this game to steal. You can also steal from people you talk to with your thievery. If you have it high enough, you can pickpocket them as you talk to them and find all kinds of cool items. It's just a really fun third-person action RPG. It's kind of janky, but if you like a pirate themed game and you want to play a fun RPG, I recommend checking out Risen 2 Dark Waters. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that look at Risen 2. I still have not got to unlocking my own ship after like 15 hours of playing the game, as I'm not a person that likes to rush these kind of games. I like to take my time and really explore the maps. Now, it really sucks is that they never released a strategy guide for this game, so I've been having to use a couple different online guides, which I will leave a link to the ones I've been using to help you guys out. The game tells you, and I recommend this as well, save all the time, because random events can occur. You might actually do something you didn't want to do, and it can actually affect the ending you're going to get. It's going to affect what you do. So I always make sure to save a lot, so in case I mess something up, I can go back and load an older save. You can have, I think, like 8 or 9 different save slots. There's also an auto save slot that happens, so just make sure you save all the time. I recommend playing it on the easiest difficulty, because the higher the difficulties, it's just that much harder of a game, and it'll make you frustrated because the combat isn't the greatest. Your character has to learn moves, like you don't automatically know how to counter enemies, and because of the janky combat and stuff, it can really make it frustrating. So it's best just to play these games on the easiest difficulty setting. It'll still be a challenge for you. If you become a good expert at the combat mechanics, you might want to then play a second playthrough on the harder difficulty, but I recommend starting out on just the easiest one, because there are 2 different paths to go down in this game, where you choose different sides, just like you did in the first game, and that'll affect what quests you get and the ending and everything like that. But a really fantastic game I definitely think you guys should check out. I also recommend checking out the original Risen. That's also backwards compatible. And then there's also Risen 3 Titan Lords, but I don't believe that one actually got backwards compatible, but you can play it on the Xbox 360. So let me know your guys' thoughts. If you guys played Risen 2 or any of the other Risen games, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on it. I'd enjoy hearing about games you guys have been playing lately, and if you guys have a recommendation, a game you think I might enjoy playing, let me know. Always looking for new games to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.